Okay, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you've probably got a place like this in your house somewhere in your garage where you've got the whole catalog of different cans of stuff. Got cleaners and stuff over here, but all these different types of lube. WD-40 silicone spray, you got chain lube, garage door, more WD-40, 3-in-1 oil, dry lube, who knows what else I got in here. But a lot of times, actually probably 90% of the time, I just need something that's going to lubricate. It really doesn't, any one of these will work. Well, back in the olden days, people didn't have all this stuff and they just used pretty much oil. Maybe not 3-in-1 oil, this is just really light machine oil, but they just used oil. Okay, so that brings us to this. This is just an oil dispenser, and GoldenRod is supposedly the premier brand of these things. But they sell cheap knockoffs on Amazon, Harbor Freight and stuff. I just bought this one because these seem to be quality made, and I'd rather just buy something, I'm buy once, cry once kind of person and not have to worry about it. But this isn't really the subject of this video. It's part of it. The main thing is buy one of these, and then pretty much all the time now, I'm never going over to this cabinet anymore. 99% of the time, I'm just picking this thing up. And the good thing about it is all the oil in here was free. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you change your own oil. I've got some left over from the last oil change here. I got that from my lawnmower. In here I've got a bunch of oil filters for different vehicles. So if you notice, like when you change the oil, there's always a little bit left in this thing. When you open it up, you can keep shaking it. There's still stuff in there. All right, so as you dump your oil in, take it, stick it upside down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this takes 6, but I'll wait. You know, you just stick it in the box like that and just store the box. I've got one right there full, so it's about time to harvest. So I'll let this, after I think I'm going to have to put that cord in there. But either way, once I'm finished changing the oil today, tomorrow, I'll come out and I'll, quote, harvest all this free oil. I don't know if there's much left in this one. Usually you get pretty much a cap full. That oil's all free. It would have ended up either in the recycle can or the garbage can. Instead, it ends up in my little oil dispenser. All right, and I keep this thing just sitting right here on the bench. So if you're using the drill press, you know, you need some oil on the bits. I use it on my vise. This is a good habit to get into. Have a rag that's just for this. It's basically an oily rag. And it just keeps your stuff from rusting. Same thing on over there, my welding table. And then just anytime you need oil, instead of grabbing WD-40 or one of those cans, you've got this thing sitting right here on your bench. You've got a rag that you use for it, so it's like an oily rag. And it's right there. It's so handy. That stuff works way better than WD-40 does or any of these other lubricants. And it's free. One-time investment of this, and it's basically this oil, free oil for life. All right, so I hope this really helped you as a good tip for you and gave you a good idea or something you can do to save money. I've got other tips like this on my channel, so if you check those out, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not changing your own oil, my question would be is why not? There's plenty of tutorials on there. I've got a couple I think I've done on my truck and one of my wife's cars. There's plenty on YouTube. And the thing is, if you change it, you get to use high quality oil instead of the cheap stuff they use at the lube place. You can use high quality filters instead of this cheap stuff they leave at the lube place, and it's still cheaper, and you end up with free oil for this, and you know the job's done right. So you got any questions, let me know. Like, subscribe, hope it helps. See ya. Time of year again. Oh, where's it going? I could always recognize that sound.